What's up, guys? It's Brandon Flash. Today you're joining me in Southern California, and I have a 2025 Cybertruck that I've been driving for about the past 24 hours. Today's video is brought to you by TubeToolkit.com. Tired of spending hours writing titles, descriptions, and tags for every video? With Tube Toolkit, just paste your YouTube link and AI generates optimized titles, SEO descriptions, timestamps, tags, and more in seconds. Plus AI thumbnails, shorts ideas, CTR scored titles, and full SEO toolkit. Start free with 3 videos a month. Upgrade anytime as your channel grows. TubeToolkit.com. Turn your videos into content gold. Thank you to Tube Toolkit for sponsoring today's video. Well, I found myself with a Cybertruck for about 24 hours, and I have not posted anything about the Cybertruck on YouTube in quite a while. And I figured I'd owe you guys an update here on my thoughts. I've been an F-150 Lightning owner for about 18 months now. I have previously owned 5 Teslas, many other EVs, so I think I have a pretty good basis for what makes a good EV, and just my general preferences on EVs and how they operate and things like that. So I've put about 100 miles on this Cybertruck all around Southern California. And I must say, spoiler alert, I'm actually liking it a lot more than I used to. So let me just give you a quick tour of the truck, and then I'll share some of my thoughts. So this truck in particular is actually a loaner from Tesla of West Covina. So thank you to them. Long story on why I have a loaner truck in Southern California, but long story short, there is a new Model Y content, or new Model Y coming to the channel soon. I forgot where the button is for this. Is there a button? I don't even remember. Is there really not a button? That'd be really dumb if there's not. We'll add that to my thoughts here, apparently. Let's hop in here. The metal of the door is quite hot, so I'll open that. Is there really not a button? Apparently not. So anyway, here's the front trunk. This is one of my pain points with the Cybertruck because while this is pretty wide and could probably fit golf clubs or something, it is just not a useful space other than as a bench or golf clubs. If I were to do a Costco run, I couldn't even put a case of water up here. And I can fit 3 of them in my Lightning, so that's just kind of a not ideal situation there. We'll close that. We do have the button under there to close it, so that's nice. We have rear steer, which makes this truck very maneuverable. We also have the vault with the power tonneau cover. This is really nice. It sounds like they have made some improvements to the water sealing of the bed overall in the vault. Looks like someone had to use the emergency release here for some reason. These Tesla-owned trucks have a hard life, and this may or may not have been a buyback. I don't actually know. You have the smuggler's bay, as the Tesla folks like to call it. That doesn't seem to have shut fully. Whatever. And you have your 2 120-volt outlets and your NEMA 1450 there. My understanding is that you can actually only pull... Oh, yeah, and this is not power up. It's only power down. It is pretty light, though, so I'll give it that. With the NEMA 1450, even though it's a 50-amp outlet, my understanding is that you can only pull 40 amps continuous from it, which is typical for electrical code for a house. However, the outlet on a vehicle does not have to follow that standard. My F-150 Lightning, for example, has a NEMA L14-30, and while typically that would only be a 24-amp continuous outlet, my Lightning will let you pull 30 amps continuous, no problem, which is very handy if you need to charge another vehicle or something. These doors, still pretty sharp. They shut pretty nicely. And overall, the interior is quite nice here. So let's hop in and I'll share some of my thoughts. If you haven't already, I definitely recommend checking out the Cybertruck video I made probably 2 years ago at this point, even before I had my Lightning. I think that was maybe when I still had my Rivian. I don't entirely remember. But anyway, some of my points still stand from that video. I think Tesla has made a lot of strange decisions on this truck, and I think that's partially why it's not selling very well. However, now that these trucks have FSD and FSD on the same level as non-Cybertrucks, so Model Y and Model 3, as far as I can tell, I've been using FSD all around LA and the surrounding areas over the past 24 hours or so. It completely changes this truck. suddenly not a whole lot else matters, similar to how the Model Y is not necessarily the best vehicle in any one thing, but because it has FSD, it is just the default choice. And I'll say that that's kind of the case here with the Cybertruck at this point. I think the battery is still a bit too small. It needs more range. Also needs better charging. It'll peak theoretically at 500 kilowatts, but for half a second, that doesn't count. The curve seems to have maybe gotten slightly better over time, but not meaningfully still. It's about 35 minutes, 10 to 80% as far as I can tell, which is, I don't know, realistically somewhere in the 150 to 200 mile range at interstate speeds. So if you're going 80 plus miles an hour, or even 75 plus miles an hour probably. And I just don't think that's enough for a vehicle of this price in 2026. I think for a road trip machine, the Sierra, the Silverado, those are probably a better choice, but those don't have FSD. So that's really a shame that you kind of have to pick. Do you want a vehicle that's potentially better at most other things, or do you want FSD? And I really wish Tesla would kind of step up and offer these vehicles that people want, like a 3-row boxy SUV, or not necessarily even boxy in the front, but just box it off a bit in the back, or make a bigger Model YL. The Model YL is a good step towards giving people what they want, but it's not all the way there. People wanted bigger than the Model X, not smaller than the Model X. So anyway, would love to hear what you guys think. I don't think I'm too harsh on the Cybertruck. I genuinely do like the truck. I think the used prices are too expensive still. These trucks should be in the 40s at this point, but for some reason they're still in like the high 50s even for the worst examples, or even the mid 60s for kind of a run-of-the-mill used example. And I just don't think it's worth that much to me when you can get like an F-150 Lightning Platinum for cheaper than that. Or I mean, even my F-150 Lightning Lariat that I got for under 40K. So Tesla seems to be propping up the used market with a lot of buybacks and elevated trade values, which is a bit strange, and I still don't fully understand why they're doing it, other than just to keep the values high for their owners, and make it easy for them to get out of them. It's a bit strange. Maybe it's a little bit to keep the asset values up, since so many of Elon's other companies have them. Again, if you guys have a theory of why Tesla seems to be propping up used Cybertruck values, comment down below. Would love to hear it. Yeah, it's a nice truck. I don't think I can fault anyone for buying one of these, as long as you have the money to spend to justify having one of these. I don't think they're necessarily a good value yet, but it's a nice truck. It drives itself. It is the only electric truck you can buy right now that drives itself. And if that matters to you, well, you don't really have a choice but to get a Cybertruck. If you haven't already, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. See you guys on the next one. Thank you guys for watching.